So as it turns out, these Space Marines know fear, and none of them will stand up to the challenge. Indeed, it can be said they cannot accept the challenge. Such is their terror.
Well, it's a good thing they shall know no fear. So in game terms, it doesn't hurt at all. Yes, you killed off their sergeant. They're very sad about Brother Sergeant Big Guns.
You see, Tyranids at least mourn their dead out in Tyranid heaven.
Sure they do.
Quid pro quo, if you ever get a choice between regular heaven and Tyranid heaven, choose Tyranid heaven. Because it might be a trick, but if it's not, boy.
Ah, my goodness.
So I go first then in attacks.
Go ahead.
All right, 5 attacks, right?
4 base, plus if you have paired weapons.
Sure looks like he's got paired weapons with both them claws.
We're assuming he does have paired weapons in this situation. For the viewer and pleasure.
Boom, boom.
And 2's to wound me.
Wounding time. Looks like 5 wounds. Or this one. Yep,
5 wounds.
5 wounds.
Alright, so...
They're all the same.
Wow, 3 deaths.
Hey, awesome.
That
way to be.
Awesome. In a bad
Death
way.
to everything.
Alright, coming back to the last guy. He hits you once and does wound you. So he loses by 2. And he will stick around on a 9.
All right.
So. Stupid.
He lured these guys into charging him with their thunder hammers and their storm shields because of his tactical genius.
All right, tactical genius, it's your turn 4.
The way they're standing there looks like they've finally joined together as friends.
That's not likely to happen. We'll fix that right now.
Well, no one likes Tyranids, so I guess you're right.
The Tyranids don't like Tyranids.
Do Tyranids eat Tyranids?
Yes, they do.
Awesome.
There's some more thematically posed
yes.
for you.
Da, 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 at the side of a volcano.
For viewing pleasure.
I'm gonna pull an Anakin Skywalker on this guy next to Salt Face. It's gonna be awesome.
Like you're gonna jump up in the air above me and I'm gonna slice your legs off?
The reverse of that.
Okay, so that would be a Obi-Wan
And
Kenobi.
what Obi-Wan did to Anakin, which wasn't as bad as what George Lucas did to those movies, but that's what I'm gonna do to this guy. Any other assaults, or is that it?
That's it. It's
okay.
Your turn 4.
I'll move and we'll come back.
All
right, so
your turn 4.
I move these guys around here to give them something of cover against these Tau guys. The Tau guys are probably just gonna jump their Robotech mans around to get a better angle. So I'm not counting too much on the cover, but also put them in a spot where if this Land Raider pops, wherever the guys get out, there's a good chance they can assault them or chase them down in the next turn. And these guys moved up over here because they wanted to be a part of the action. They know that their time is soon approaches to enter Tyranid heaven. So they're just here to be in the middle. My path to victory at this point relies on this lone lictor. Okay? He has strength 6 and he has rending. And so if he attacks and he hits, and he rolls a 6, and he rolls a 2, no, probably a 3.
3 or
Either
4.
3 2s or a 3 on
Math.
his rending D3.
Math is hard.
And then he just rolls a 6 to explode it. He's gonna explode this Land Raider. And
All right.
then I can either kill the guys inside, at which point I could win by having a unit in his deployment and him not having a unit in my deployment and having my Warlord still alive. So he would have first blood, but I would have deployment and my Warlord alive, and no one would have the 3 points from the pork chop. Or in the unlikely event that these guys stay alive, they could be heroes and they could grab the pork chop and eat it up and have good times. So it's a chance, it's a shot, it's a hope, a dream.
All right.
So here's how we do it.
I'm gonna go ahead and declare an assault, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm not gonna shoot anything, so I'm gonna assault the Land Raider with my Gentleman Lictor.
Okay, Gentleman Lictor, assault.
See what range he gets.
Oh.
He gets 2 inches, which is enough. So he makes it.
It's a good thing you weren't 2 1/4 out, dude. I'm just saying.
That would have been terrible.
All right, so he auto hits because I didn't move last time.
Okay.
And weapon skill 0. So you've got 6 attacks, right? Or is it? It's 3. No, it's 5 attacks.
5 attacks, I believe, because
5
he's
attacks.
got
Base 3.
base 3 plus the double CC dubs and the assault.
All right.
So
looking for 6s.
We're looking for 6s.
6s
Here
will
we
give us,
go.
6s
go,
will give
go.
us 12.
Come on. Oh.
Nothing so far. That's cocked. Go ahead and roll them separately.
Okay.
Roll the cocked die first. Now this. Okay, and then the other one.
Awesome. And the other one?
They got a 1.
Oh,
All
but
right,
it
so
re-rolls because of the rending, the scything.
wait, that's only to hit. Remember, you're not rolling to hit.
This is the wounding.
This is the wound.
So.
Well, not even a wound. So there you go. Armor 12.
So now it's 12. Now we're looking for a 3 on a D3, which in this case will be a 5 or a 6.
That'll pin it.
That'll pin it.
A 3 or 4
will glance, but
doesn't do anything.
I'm not looking for a glance here.
Right,
I need the
so 5 or
penetration.
6.
Penetration. Oh no.
Bounced off.
No. Earl Grey, you have disgraced the British Royal Navy. Sad times indeed. But
and the Land Raider's like, I know what target number 1 is.
Yeah. Next up, we have this exciting combat here. I will challenge your Space Marine, but he's just quaking in his boots. He can't even accept the challenge. He just doesn't even know what to do.
We could say that.
All right. Okay.
So 3 hits.
3 hits.
And choose to wound me.
Let's wound him. Wound it.
That one's probably cocked. Again.
Okay.
All right, so 3 wounds, 3 armors, or 3 invuln saves. Nope, he died. I need 2 of them.
Yeah.
All right, consolidate.
Yeah. He's gonna consolidate 4 inches.
And
will he move backwards to entrench himself more into his deployment zone? Or will he move forwards, challenging the Land Raider? I think with his tactical genius, the answer is already known. See you next time.
All right, so he chose to move forward.
Yeah.
Now that I've done that.
Look at that exhaust pipe, just ready for some clawing.
All right, it is pretty claw looking. But the Space Marines over here are like, we must help our battle brother machine and our battle brothers inside. Here's the last cannon to your face. And he missed.
That's not for the greater good. Stop that.
Might be for my greater good.
Yeah.
All right, this Land Raider, now that I've missed with my last cannon and I'm sad, are gonna shoot into, let's see, we're gonna do, I have chosen poorly. We're gonna do assault cannon into this guy, and then this guy's not even gonna shoot, and then the Power Machine Spirit, the Malta into the face.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so Malta here.
All right. Hits.
You're dead.
I don't think it wounds though.
I'm strength 8.
His toughness is
6.
10.
His toughness is 6.
Oh.
You're dead.
That's a shame. How many wounds does he have? Only the 3?
He has 4 wounds.
4 wounds?
Yeah, he's got 3.
Oh, there's 3 on there.
Yeah.
No! His arms pop off from the Milta. Sad times.
And the assault cannon into the Lictor.
Okay.
Twin linked. And 6s will rend. 6s will rend, and I wound you. Your toughness 4, right? Yeah. There's 4 wounds on him. So, and that's AP4. He's out in the open.
His strength is 6. Hang on. We'll check.
All right, we're looking.
Lictors. Because his strength is 6, so I think his toughness is only 4. No.
Yeah, he's dead.
All right. Saves.
AP4.
Oh no.
Goodbye, Gentleman Lictor.
Jolly good show, Gentleman Lictor. Jolly good show.
All right. Well, do you want to keep shooting, or do you want to concede? What do you want to do, bud?
Let's keep shooting.
Keep shooting. All right, we're gonna still keep shooting. All right, going after the warriors here with these guys. Yeah, awesome. Two guys are gonna, no. One guy's gonna be in range of plasma. Two guys are gonna be in range of plasma. One guy's out, and then the missiles. So here's the two plasma. One's from the commander. Commander plasma hits.
Okay.
Regular guy plasma hits. And then missiles. Here's the regular guy missiles. 2 hits. And commander missiles hits. All right. Here's the wounds from the missiles. 3 wounds because the strength's 7.
Okay.
And plasma also wounds twice. So total of 5 wounds. I want you to
5 wounds from the gunbusters.
I want you to take the plasma first.
Okay.
So take 2 plasma wounds first. You do get cover saves on the closest guy. So he'll get 4 up because it's the runes.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll do these one at a time then. He saves that one, and
that one.
That one.
All right, missiles. Same deal.
Okay.
You only have 1 wound left, so you'll want to roll 1 at a time.
Okay. Here you go.
Dead.
Oh.
Okay, second guy is this guy, and he's not going to get any saves because he's out in the open. So he's just going to take a wound and die. And then the third guy is going to get saves.
Yeah.
He's got, so he needs to take the last
1
wound.
save.
And he gets 4 up again. So he takes it out.
There's a shame.
All right. So we're down to 2 warriors, 1 with 1 wound, 1 with 2 wounds. And then during assault moves, these guys will jump. Let's see. We're 24 inches. Like this. All right, so turn 5.
All right. Now, let's see here. I'm going to...
Let me switch it. You want to pause it?
Yeah, we'll pause it.
So, your turn 5.
So, here's how I moved. I moved my Termi guys up so that they could get in, hopefully get into range of these Marines. They just want to do something this game. They want to have a piece of the action before they go to meet their buggy brethren in bug heaven. And then my Shrikes, they flew over here, but notice how they turned around and they're farting in the general direction of these Gundams over here.
Okay.
And so really, if those Gundams try shooting at them or really do anything other than move forward and charge into combat, it would mean the loss of Thomas's manhood. So that's just a shame to see that happen. But anyway,
challenge accepted.
As far as shooting, these guys are going to shoot here at the Marines.
Okay.
They're looking for 4s to hit, I believe. So 2 hits, and then 4s to wound. 2 wounds.
Okay. 1.
Yeah.
2 guys die.
Oh.
Pretty regular for my armor saves.
Securing their spot as the MVPs of the game. You'll
Well
notice
played.
if you remember these guys.
Here's their morale check. Maybe I don't have 3.
Okay. If you remember these guys, they started out here just chilling in this hot lava pool, went down the lava slide, ran across the board, and now took out strategic tactical Marines.
All right. So that's the end of turn 5. You want to roll to see if the game goes on?
If the game does end, it would be sad for you indeed, Thomas, because that would preclude you from being able to assault with your gunbusters.
No, the game goes on.
Okay.
Okay.
Your chance to preserve your manhood remains.
All right, I'll move.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and accept his challenge.
Okay.
But notice, his challenge was only they don't shoot. So everything else is gonna kill these guys real quick, so they don't actually have the
Oh, underhanded.
chance. Indeed. I'm gonna check my range on my multi-melta. Oh, it does have range. I put on machine spirit my multi-melta.
Oh man.
Assuming I'm within your deployment zone. I am. So here's my multi-melta. That'll hit, and it's probably cocked. It'll splat a guy.
Okay.
This guy's splatted.
Oh.
Now, first time well, no, I'm not. I'm gonna wait on that. These guys are gonna go ahead and shoot at him. Here's my last cannon.
If only there were if only there were a way to create more detailed
Here's the bolters.
stipulations through fart communication.
It's true. 2 wounds on this other guy. So
and now he's gone.
yeah, he's dead.
Yep.
Yep, too bad. Oh, these
Sad
guys were
time.
gonna do it.
They were gonna do it. They were right there.
But now that since they don't have anything to shoot at, they're gonna go ahead and shoot at your termagants.
What a shame. What a shame.
So everybody can see, but only one's within rapid fire plasma range.
Okay.
Here's the plasma from the regular guys.
Okay, plasmas.
One hit.
Ooh.
Here is the commander plasma. That'll hit. So 2 hits there, and then the missiles.
Okay.
Here's the regular missiles. 2 hits.
Okay.
And commander missiles. Wow.
Ooh,
missed.
nice.
All right. So here's plasma and missiles. So 4 wounds. Go ahead and take. The front guy's gonna die. Let's see. The front 2 guys are gonna die. No, the front 1 guy's gonna die, and then this guy. I'm gonna have you take plasma first, so this guy gets a cover save against plasma.
Okay. Cover it.
4 better, because it's through a pillar.
Oh,
he's dead.
It's a shame.
Now we're gonna do missiles, so this guy will die because he doesn't get a cover, and then actually, I cannot see those guys, so they cannot be targeted.
Yay.
So they're gonna be okay.
Good times.
All right. Now the railgun will drop its pie plate on you.
Oh, that's a shame.
It moves off 2 inches. 2 inches that away, which is still gonna hit both of you.
Okay.
Don't roll 1s. Oh,
He rolled a 1!
So this guy's dead.
He's
So
a hero.
You have a single guy left.
Yep.
Your turn.
Okay.
Oh, I'll make my assault move. They're gonna try and jump to the carcasses here and, you know,
Okay.
jump up and down on them.
Yeah. All right. So he is not in Synapse, so he's gonna have to take a morale check on a 9. I don't think he's good on that. I think he runs off.
So he runs. He
He RUNNOFT to the nearest comforting lava pool.
And he can shoot.
Yeah, he will. He will shoot. He will shoot at these guys. And it looks like, look, Thomas foolishly put his last cannon in front, so the Termagant has a clear shot at him. Clear shot, Termagant, and he misses.
All right, do you want to see if the game goes on?
Let's do it. Does the game go on?
No.
No.
All right.
Good game.
Let's do the handshake.
Good game. Let's do it. Ah!
All right.
Fear not, all you bug lovers, though, because over here in Tyranid heaven, they're all hanging out. They're just fine. In fact, they even brought their allied orcs with them into Tyranid heaven, right here in the center of the... Wait a second. Where did the orcs go? You ate the orc angels? How is that even possible? What Judeo-Christian belief do you hold to that allows you to consume extraterrestrial beings? That just doesn't make any sense. Well... They're still happy, though, I guess, even though they did not get the holy pork chop of Antioch. But Thomas, what'd you think of the game? What'd you think of that?
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think that considering the list, it was a fairly balanced game. I think that I played Tyranids maybe twice, 3 times, something like that. But I have played against them quite a bit, so I kind of know the tactics and the ways to use them. And I'm just gonna go with. You've never done that before, so there were some mistakes that were made, and that's okay. I tried to point out some things, but you know, couldn't catch everything. And but all in all, I'd say, yeah, dang, strikes are good. I think that this is the first time I've tried out, like I pointed out at the beginning, this is the first time I tried out the Tau and Space Marines together, and I think it's got promise. It was definitely one of the things that people were thinking about. Right before 6th edition came out, well, why wouldn't I bring railguns with Space Marines, you know, or vice versa? Why wouldn't I bring Terminators with Tau? So it's something I'm going to delve into deeper. I thought it was a good game. This board looks amazing. Never want to play on it again. That's not completely true. I don't want to play on it again without a nice dice box.
Yeah.
Something to roll your dice in.
I can see that.
It's not a drawer. The drawer is. If people have watched my bat reps over the last year or so, I've had a couple of awful games with that dice box, and I don't ever like rolling in it. But yeah, it was a fun game. I don't necessarily like the Relic game. I think it's kind of I think it has a tendency to maybe not necessarily end in ties, but just it's not not as clean or as good a game as some of the other game types that they've created for the new 6th edition. But I've played it twice in bat reps, and I can promise I'm not going to a 3rd time for a while. So you guys, if we do more bat reps, you guys will get to see some different game types instead.
We'll have to re-roll it if it comes up again.
Yeah. Anyway, it was a fun game, and I enjoyed. I always enjoy playing with Eugene.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I really dug it, and you know, I really liked it because yeah, we both were doing these allies armies where, you know, one of the first things that comes out is you think, oh well, a really powerful shooting army, but is balanced by a weakness in close combat units like the Tau. Why not give them some, you know, Thunderhammer Storm Shield naders, and that'd be awesome. And I was thinking the same thing with Tyranids, where Tyranids are a really powerful close combat army, but they could use some long range shooting. So I brought in some Ludas, which, were they not eaten, I think could have been a great boon there. Definitely liked the Zoas. I liked the Zoanthropes, how they performed. Really liked the Trigon. He didn't really do much this game, but I think in general terms, as far as Tyranids go, I really like them popping out of the ground and eating stuff. And I think they're one of those armies where they have a lot of threats that are easily dealt with on their own, but the idea is that since you have so many threats, they just aren't going to deal with all of them by the time you get up in their face and start having fun with their limp, dead bodies. So I like that, but if you have kind of half your army on the board moving forward and then the other half waiting a turn or two to come in from the ground, then that makes it easier for the opponent to deal with, if that makes sense. There's not quite so much the saturation of threats for them to choose between. But
you had stuff come in fairly quickly. I think just you know, we got to hand-to-hand blows very quickly. I think, and you commented off camera about this, and I think you're right. That we need to. There needs to be a one or the other thing. Like everything is coming in, or everything is walking. So everything needs to rise at the same time. Yeah. Kind of feeling, maybe.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling with it after this game.
Remember again, guys, that we're playing with what's available, obviously, and this is a trade-in from a 5th edition army, which is definitely not where 6th edition Tyranids need to go. 6th edition Tyranids, anything that's 2,000 points or over, they definitely need to be using that double 4 sword so they can bring all the flying monsters, creatures, so they can have, you know, oh, I'm going to bring all this or all that. Some sort of specialized army which will allow them to have a lot scarier combinations than what was viable and scary in 6th and 5th edition. Also, the other thing that's always been really good in the Tyranid Codex that you didn't have any of were Turvagons. So you weren't spewing out, there was no spewing out little extra guys. Once one of your guys hit the table and died, that was it, they didn't come back, which is one of the things that Tyranids shine with as far as being able to create new guys. Yeah, the Turvagons, I didn't have access to any, I think they're called Hive Guard. They're one of the elite shooty options, which I think is a key linchpin for anti-tank among the Tyranids. The Zoas, though, man, they blew me away. I thought they were just really awesome. They had big, huge brains. They did big, huge damage. I really liked them. I probably would take more of them. The Lictors I thought were fun, but I'm having a hard time seeing how they're going to make their points back, especially when there's snap fire. I mean, in the best case scenario, they come onto the board in a place where your opponent doesn't want them to be. They don't get shot off the board because the opponent just doesn't have the firepower to deal with them. They're dealing with all the other threats, and then they charge into a unit that doesn't want to be charged into. I mean, that's best case scenario. And even if that happens, I mean, rapid firing fire warriors might kill him, you know. Space Marines have a good shot at taking him down. I mean, he's only a single model toughness 4. So I think with the 6th edition, I think Lictors probably took a hit, that it'll be hard for them. But Zoanthropes I love. The rest of the units I really liked. I mean, Shrikes were really nice. They were mobile. They were pretty durable. They killed things when they got to them. The Trigon's just a beautiful model. I love him. I wasn't really unhappy with any of the units, even the Hive Tyrant. I wasn't a huge fan of the Hive Tyrant coming in just because he cost a whole bunch of points, but I liked the model and I liked the
the look of his big beefy guys that he brought with him. So I was like, well, I'll bring him along. And he did good. I mean, they're surprisingly good in close combat.
I do want to make one note,
so
people aren't running out and buying expensive Shrikes. They still are only toughness 4. And the meta in 5th edition and the meta, I still believe, to a large extent, is strength 8 weapons. And strength 8 weapons, if I had any missile launchers, or if I had taken the time to actually shoot them, would just start melting those guys. And that's something that if you're playing against somebody who has long fangs, or Black Templars with their Cyclone missile launchers, that's just not a good, I mean, because how many points did you spend on those Shrikes?
They were 55 points a pop, how they were equipped. Because they start 35 base, then they have 15 when they do the lash whips and the bone swords, then an extra 5 for the scything talons. So, I mean, yeah, they were nice, but 55 points, that's a paladin.
It's 55 points, well, not only this, but think about this. A paladin's going to survive that missile. You know, 1 out of 6 times he's going to die to that missile. And at best, at your best bet in the current edition, one in 3 times, one of those guys will survive. One of these Shrikes will survive against the missile.
Or even bolters. I mean, you think about how many AP5 shots these armies are putting out. Necron, Space Marines, Tau. I mean, almost everyone has access to AP5 shots on their bog standard troops. And you put in that level of firepower on Terminators or Paladins, and it takes a lot of firepower to bring them down. But against these guys with 3 wounds, but they don't even get a save against it, I mean, it's tough times. It's tough times to be a flying bug in 6th. So I can see where there's a lot of room for improvement with the new rule set. Gene Stealers not being able to assault when they come in on infiltrate, that's kind of a tough pill to swallow. Outflank, that's a tough pill to swallow. But yeah, it just kind of makes me appreciate my Demon Hunters more, because they've got a lot of great options when you compare them. You know, you start comparing Dread Knights to the Carnifexes, and you start comparing Paladins to Shrikes as they are equipped here. You start comparing, you know, the 15-point Assassin Acolytes to 14-point Gene Stealers, you know.
Here's the big difference.
There's some neat stuff.
The Shrikes and the Warriors, they can take bone swords, which ignore armor saves.
Oh, yeah.
Which is huge in close combat in 6th edition, because most weapons now have an AP value. Thus, a power sword is not going to kill a Terminator.
Yeah.
But these Shrikes, if they get in close combat, are going to tear through a unit of Terminators like no business. Even Thunderhammer Storm Shields are going to have a hard time, just because of the vast number of saves they're going to have to take. Storm Shield saves they're going to have to take. But Paladins or Terminators or any of these other things that we're talking about, the Assassins, have to take a transport. And even though transports aren't as good as they used to be, they can still have that transport of, oh, well, I'm going to go 1 turn, move 6, and then, or move 12, and then move 6 again. I've moved 18 inches, and if I'm in a Land Raider, go ahead, break it open, I'm close enough to charge you, or, oh, you didn't break it open, now I move 6, get out 6, and assault you. Whereas Shrikes, even as jump troops, they're physically on the table from the beginning of the game, walking across the table, being like, oh, crap. I mean, alternatively, you could do Myopic Spore. You could be like, okay, I'm going to put Warriors in this Myopic Spore and drop them. And that could be, something.
I mean, but if you're putting them in a Spore, at that point, I'd probably just go with the Warriors at that point. You can get them similarly equipped. Yeah, Warriors as opposed to the Shrikes, but yeah, I mean, I really like the play style of the Nids, though. I really like them. I dig the models. I'm actually kind of digging this white and purple color scheme. It kind of reminds me of Legion of Everblight, which I'm not a War Machine or Hordes player myself yet, but I'm really considering getting into it. And if I do, I'm probably going to go Legion of Everblight, because I like the models and I like for things to die when I assault them. So that's kind of what Everblight does. But yeah, I dug it. I like them. I think one of the controversial decisions that I made at the beginning was with Shrikes, which, as you said, yeah, they are pretty good anti-Terminator units. I tried to keep them avoiding the Terminators, and if you just look at the math of it, I mean, there's 8 guys, so if they get the charge at 5 attacks each, that's like 40 attacks, hitting on 3s, so maybe 25 hits get through, wounding on 4s, so maybe 12 wounds.
More than that, because you get to re-roll your 1s. So you're only missing on 2s.
Okay. Right. So, say 30, 32 get through, so then 16 of those will actually wound, so maybe 5 dead Terminators, assuming average stuff.
16 saves, but I'm only getting a 3-up save. I'm not getting a 2-up save.
Yeah, so out of every 3, 1 will die, so 15 divided by 3 is 5.
Right, and I had a total of 7.
But you also had your high HQ guy there. And so the 2 reasons why I decided not to go after those guys with my Shrikes. One was the HQ guy would probably throw a monkey wrench into plans. And 2 was I thought that it would be more tactically to my benefit to ignore them and to go and eat the things over on this side of the board. Which, seeing as how the Thunderhammer Terminators didn't really do that much to me, I still tend to agree with. Since, I mean, throughout the game, they were probably a whole boatload of points that killed a group of gargoyles over here, and then came over and killed my tyrant's buddies, but didn't actually end up killing the tyrant. So it didn't impact me enough to where I think devoting my Shrikes to it would be there. And if I didn't have my Shrikes back here, then my Gene Stealers would have just gotten really, really shot up, particularly if they tried a disordered charge like I wanted to do with, you know, his multiple smaller units to make sure I killed as much as I could as fast as I could. So that's the basis for my decision. Seeing how the game turned out, I'm still happy with my decision as it is, but I do see where, you know, Shrikes are, in a large way, the Terminator killers that the Tyranids have. And if the Terminators were placed in a more, you know, a position which was going to hurt me more or impede my path to victory more, I would have probably charged in them. And yeah, also the Gene Stealers as well in a multi-combat, just because the rending from the Gene Stealers and just the boatload of attacks makes them pretty good as well. In fact, I think that might even be another debate. It's like, you know, would you rather have 8 Shrikes charge in, or would you rather have 20 Gene Stealers charge in? Because the Gene Stealers wouldn't be doing as much damage, but when they swing back, they're only killing 14 points each swing, not 55. So.
Right. Well, you're totally right, because as soon as whatever survives gets to your last phase, and all of a sudden I'm putting instant killing wounds on you.
Yeah.
And you're losing 55-point models each time you swing. So you're totally right. That's really something you got to worry about in the close combat sense. The other thing to think about too is that even though we just talked and mentioned the fact that Gene Stealers have a disadvantage of not being able to charge the turn they come in now, they do get to come in very close to the enemy, whereas the Shrikes are going to have to fly across the field in most cases to get to the enemy.
Oh yeah. So, you know, I ended up liking the Nids more than I thought. I read all this doom and gloom about them online, and I disagree with most of it, just because I still think they retain the fun feel of the army, but I can see how they probably wouldn't be super competitive in a tournament scene until they get some adjustments to deal with 6th, as far as, you know, Overwatch and kind of the different meta.
Well, and that's the problem. They probably won't, not for a very long time. If you look at people, the way that they're bringing out codex. I mean, this year they're bringing out 1 codex this year. That's supposed to be chaos, and then they've talked about the rumors talk about Dark Angels being next. They've postponed Sisters of Battle. I can't imagine, you know. And then there's still codexes that didn't even get a codex in 5th edition. You know, Eldar need 1. Black Templars are due for 1. Not they don't need 1, but they could, you know, they're due for 1 as far as you count that.
Yeah.
There's some other codexes that just Tau. I mean, Tau is a no-brainer. That needs a codex. They need a codex probably badly. 6th edition definitely helped them because of the ally rules, but they were not. It was extremely hard. I don't think I have a tournament list, and I don't think I was ever beaten by Tau unless they seized the initiative.
Yeah. I was beaten by a really good Tau player once. It was in 5th edition, and I was playing playing my Demon Hunters right after their new Grey Knights Codex came out. So I was kind of in an old edition list.
Right.
And yeah, the Tau firepower, if you don't know what you're getting into coming in, that'll take you down. And I think the same is with Necrons. I mean, Necrons in 6th are really, really beefy. In the tournaments I've been to, they've always done well. And I think their firepower is a large part of that.
They can also do more now because they were obviously written. People look at it and think, oh yeah, they were obviously written for 6th edition. And in addition to that, they also can bring close combat elements. You know, the rates, the canonic rates are not to sneer at as far as close combat goes. They're pretty gross.
Yeah.
In addition, so is they have storm shield guys, and guys that basically have storm shields and power weapons. I think they got better with 6th edition as well.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're without close combat, which has been the problem for Tau forever. You know, I mean, to be fair, Farsight got better. They have their one power weapon basically stayed as powerful as it was. It's more powerful now because he ignores armor 6. So if there you go, bring that Farsight guy, put him into combat. And he can kill some guys for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Or like there's this one thing I've heard of a lot of Tau guys doing. They take their great and mystic leader who just goes into battle with flowing robes and not much else. Right. And then they stick him on the very tippy top of a piece of terrain, or even bring like a fortification that's really tall so that he can start there. And then as soon as possible, he's going to make a flying heroic leap and take impact hits, hoping that he dies. Because if he dies, then, you know, his whole army gets preferred enemy for the rest of the game, and now preferred enemy helps your shooting. So I kind of want to do that just for chuckles at least once. That's something I want to do.
It's a very convoluted way to try and get a benefit out of a character. I think it's funny that they would do that. Maybe it would be worth it. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, preferred enemy on Tau guys just makes them all that much more vicious. They'll just shoot you down.
Reroll ones or something like that.
Makes your shooting better. I know that much.
I can't remember exactly what it does, but something like that. Something to that effect.
It makes the things that they point their guns at fall down. So
there you go.
That's about it.
That's pretty good.
So cool.
Well, thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, thanks again, and we'll catch you next time.
All right.